Hello everyone. Today we'll be learning Chinese paper cutting. Before we start, let's look at what are some of the materials that you will need. You will need a Chinese paper cutting template from your teacher, a piece of red construction paper, a penknife, and a cutting board. Now, if you do not have a cutting board, you may either use a thick cardboard or a stack of newspapers. This will allow some buffer between your penknife and your table so that you will not scratch or vandalize your school table. So once you have this item, you will be ready to go. Once you get your template, staple your template on top of your red construction paper like this. Staple the four corners so that your template will not slide around while you're trying to cut it. Once you have your template stapled to your red construction paper, you may begin. Now for your penknife, please take note. A few precautions to take note is do not slide too much of the blade out. Now this is dangerous because as you're applying pressure on the penknife, the blade might break and this might fly into your face. At the same time, do not wave this around while you're talking to your friend, because if you injure your friend, you will be responsible. So please be very careful when you're handling sharp objects. Now, before you start, your teacher would have taught you negative and positive spaces. Which one is the negative space and which is the positive space? The positive space you can see here is the picture itself. The picture of two children playing with this dragon. So this will constitute the positive space. Basically, the black color lines are your positive space, or rather is your positive space. Whereas the white color, the white portion, is your negative space. So what you need to do here for Chinese paper cutting is to cut out the negative, which is the white spaces. Now you will notice that I've really prepared one that I've cut halfway. The trick here is to apply a little bit of pressure while you're cutting your Chinese paper cutting. You might find it awkward if you need to twist your arm around. So rather than twisting and turning your arms around to cut this curve, what you can do is place it at the angle that you're most comfortable with. Because I'm left-handed, so I'll be placing it at this angle. And instead of twisting my arms to cut out the shape of this curve face here, instead of twisting my arm like this, alright, what I can do is to actually turn my paper instead. I'll make a small slice, I turn. A small little slice, and I'll turn. And I'll turn as I start slicing or cutting the paper. So this will be much easier because your arm, or rather your hand, is at its most comfortable position. Now please be careful with this free hand. Do not go under your blade because you might accidentally cut your finger. Always place it at a safe distance away from your blade. Alright, so once I've cut this out, I may turn my paper again and I cut off the eye part here. So same thing, slice, turn my paper, slice a little bit, and I turn my paper. Alright? So just be patient and be careful. It's not an easy task, but it is supposed to build on your perseverance and your positive attitude. Always have a can-do attitude. Alright, so this will actually build up your patience. So same thing you see here. I place my blade on the lines. I slowly slice and I turn my paper instead of twisting my arms around. You see that most of the time my hand, or rather the position of my hand, is not moving much. It's just that my paper is the one that is moving. Now sometimes you might find that the paper is kind of like moving together with your knife. What you can do is use your index finger to slightly press the paper down, to hold the paper down, right, so that you will be able to cut off the design. Alright, if you can, just press down the paper so that you can cut it off. Now at the same time, just be very careful with your knife. See that I'm turning my paper again. My hand is not moving much. I'm not twisting and turning my arm. Right? I'm just twisting, or rather turning my paper so that I will be able to cut off not just the white but also the red portion of it. Yep. Okay, so here you go. Just be a bit patient and you should be able to slice off the face, or rather the design on the face, the design pretty well. Alright, so just let me fine tune this a bit. Just adjust this a bit more. Okay, and there you have it. Right, so I've cut this off and then I might want to do the rest. Now it's always good to cut off the inside first, alright? The negative space, or rather the negative space on the inside, then the outside, right? Because if you cut the outside first, you have this whole piece out. So what you can do is cut off the white spaces on the inside. Once you have that, you will have a very nice design, and then you will paste this on a piece of white paper. Alright, so that's the end of this lesson. So have fun, slowly enjoy the process, and of course be patient and always adopt a positive attitude while doing this. Alright, thank you and see you. Bye bye.